Thanks to all of you for joining the webinar today. I'm super excited to be here and to be talking about Wovenmedia and telling you about our platform and our integration with BrightSign. As is the rest of the country, or most of the rest of the country and the rest of the world, we're sheltering in place here in San Francisco, so working from home. Behind me you see the skyline of San Francisco, which is a little bit more interesting than the walls of my home office. And as we're headquartered in San Francisco, I just wanted to say hello from my town to yours, and hope that you're all, you and your families are all staying safe and well in this time. So with that, I'm gonna get into the presentation. I'm gonna stay on camera for a moment here, and then I'm gonna go into the slide deck, and that's mainly because, like probably all of us, our home internet situation is not necessarily as robust as we would like. So to avoid any freeze frames or anything like that, I'm going to spend most of my time in the presentation, and then I'll come back at the end. Want to just start off by saying that we've been a BrightSign partner now for since our inception in 2010, so for 10 years now. It's been an extremely successful partnership, and we've grown from strength to strength, and very proud to say we now have thousands of BrightSign powered networks that we support across the country. Powering video-centric digital signage networks, we are a platform that's essentially built for video networks that can be small or extremely large scale. And we're built for video networks that, for the most part, require monetization through video advertising. That's me there. You saw me on camera a little minute ago. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the company, and that's my email there. If you want to reach out, feel free. Here's what we're going to go through today. We're going to do an overview of Wovenmedia, the company, and take a look at our platform. We're then going to talk about our BSN.cloud configuration for our CMS, Woven Manager. I'm going to give you a demo of Woven Manager and really just touch on the points that I think are most interesting in terms of differentiation. We're going to share our pricing, and then finally I'm going to introduce you to our head of sales, who will be your point for follow-up after the webinar. So I talked a little bit about video, and just to give you some idea of our DNA as a company, myself and several others on the senior management team have an extensive background in building and supporting and operating large video networks predominantly at retail, so companies like Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, etc. And so the platform that we built was really, as a result of that experience, we wanted to build a platform that would essentially give businesses everything they needed to manage and successfully operate large video networks at scale. Here's a look at some interesting numbers here, and really just talks to our footprint and multiple verticals across the US, such as retail, healthcare, and auto. And these are essentially the functions or the capabilities that we offer these networks. Starting with third-party content, we have an extensive content library, over 150 content partners, providing premium content that we make available to all of our clients, whether they're using our CMS or not. That content library is fully integrated with our content management system. And what that means is that companies that want to create rich, engaging video networks have this compelling library of content to support those networks. We'll talk more about our content management system that enables network programming as well as campaign management, and that's a very important capability for video ad networks, so networks where it's very important that ads run successfully and can be monitored and tracked. And we're delivering content and powering thousands of locations across the US. Down here you see some of the interesting metrics. 360 hours of fresh content added to our library last year. So that's a significant amount of content, and that content keeps pouring in on a daily basis. 10 million plus device connections daily to BrightSign players. That's a number I'm particularly proud of that talks to the strength of our platform for scale. We're powering 90,000 screens in the digital signage market, reaching 885 million viewers every month. Here's a look at some of our clients. As you can see, we have a variety of clients and in some of the verticals that I mentioned earlier. Retail particularly, but also auto, healthcare, and then we're seeing some interesting new verticals coming in, for example, in the hospitality space. OLG, Ontario Lottery and Gaming, is a fairly recent client that is continuing to expand their network with us. So now I want to just talk about what I think of as the three legs of the stool in terms of our offering. So it starts with Wovenmedia, our patented CMS. And one of the unique differentiators, really the core differentiator about this CMS, is that it's built not just for digital signage, but also for online video networks. With a single push of a button, you can deliver content to digital screens on digital signage networks as well as to web and mobile. Woven Content is our content library that I talked about, and we'll take a quick look at this towards the end of the presentation. And then finally, Woven Service. So we offer a complete suite of end-to-end services for our clients, everything from designing their initial networks, to supporting installation, to ongoing support, to video production and creative support. Let's take a closer look at Wovenmedia. These are the three areas of differentiation. So first, cloud content processing. So every single video that's uploaded to our platform is processed, compressed in the cloud. And what that means is that, we can guarantee that every single video that you want to run on a BrightSign player, whether it's an HD player or a 4K player, has been properly compressed so that you get the highest levels of quality playback every time. We support multiple content formats and different compression formats, H.265, H.264, and super fast upload speeds for content. We'll get into Wovenmedia, our content management system, in a little bit, but I think that the key points I want to point out are it's very easy to use. I know everyone says that, but we've really designed our product for marketers and for salespeople, so it's a very intuitive tool. We have a dynamic, a built-in targeting engine that gives you some really strong capabilities for doing scheduling, day parting, the kinds of things that you need to be able to do, particularly if you have a network that you're running ads on. We also have very powerful campaign and inventory management tools for ad-based networks so that salespeople can book campaigns and then track the delivery of the campaign all the way through to reporting at the end. And then, of course, we have monitoring and proof of play reporting that goes with that. And then the third thing is as I said, the multi-platform delivery. So every piece of content that comes into our platform, we transcode into multiple versions. So a low-res streaming version, a high-res version, HD, and potentially a 4K version. And then those can be delivered. We're integrated with Azure CDN, so they can be delivered to the edge as quickly as possible, but also streamed to web and mobile devices. We actually have a separate SKU for web, for online video networks, Wovenmedia for web. And we're offering a free trial of that for anyone that's interested. So now let me switch gears a little bit and talk about setting up configuration for Wovenmedia CMS in BSN.cloud. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your BSN.cloud account. You're going to go to new device setup under admin. And then you're going to go into partner application and select Wovenmedia. You're going to name this default setup, and that's because you may be setting up several media players to use with our CMS. And then you just simply save that configuration. So that's the first step. The second step is that you're going to come into, when you power on your BrightSign player, it may be a new player or it may be factory reset. You're going to get the activate code for BSN.cloud. You're then going to go into your account and you're going to put in that activation code that you saw on the screen. And then at that point, your BrightSign player is going to be activated and ready to be registered in the Wovenmedia platform. You'll see this screen here that comes up when you power up the player, and it will direct you to a URL, or you can use the QR code here and scan it. And then you just go to follow that URL, and then you can register the player in our CMS. Good transition point. I'm going to now go into the CMS. When you get that link, you're going to come to this page here, and if you have an account, you're going to just sign in. If you don't have an account, you'll sign up, and you'll get an email asking you to confirm your email, and then you're good to go. So now it's signed into Woven Manager, and if I go to my devices here, you can see here that this is the player that we activated. And when you actually come to this page, you'll come here and you'll be asked to activate your device. You enter the code that you saw on the previous screen, and then your player will become activated, and you're ready to go. The first thing you'll see when the player has finished getting set up is you'll see some demo content playing on your player. This is just a few clips to get you started, and so that you see something on the screen. As we're in this pane, I can just show you that within Woven Manager you have a number of controls, a number of controls for monitoring and managing your BrightSign players as you do from BSN.cloud, and you can see that player here in BSN.cloud. So now let's get into the demo of Woven Manager. I'm going to start with content. This is where you upload all your videos. And as I mentioned before, when you upload your video content, as you can see here, we support a whole range of pretty much every single format that's out there for video. And you can upload 4K or HD files. As you can see here, files can be uncompressed, so literally files coming directly out of your edit suite, or they may be compressed to some degree. So browse, upload your files, and the system will take care of the rest. All the files that are uploaded will be compressed to get a low-res version, which is useful for preview, but also separately for streaming your channels to web and mobile. And then you'll also get versions that are you'll get versions that are higher res. So here, for example, you see we have a video that has HD compression as well as what we call Super HD, which is a higher bit rate. So this shows you the content that you've uploaded into the Wovenmedia library. I also just want to show you the content that you would see from the Wovenmedia library. So here you can see this is all of the content that's available in our library. You can see over 7,000 clips. And I'm just going to go and select a category, let's just say music videos and entertainment. So let's go get entertainment, music. And then you'll see here that these are all the clips in our library available for you. So you can create very engaging, custom branded video experiences using the content from our library and combining that with your content. We also support, of course, as you would expect, upload of images, upload of links. These can be web pages or any other links. Widgets such as clock widgets and weather widgets. So here's an example of a clock widget. And you can do some creative, make some changes to those widgets. And then feeds, of course, RSS feeds, etc. So now I'm going to move on to playlists. So we think of playlists as really containers, if you will, or think of them as shows. And I know a lot of CMS systems have a slightly different view of what playlists are and channels, etc. For us, a playlist is just a way to organize content that has a similar theme. So you can select different templates for your playlists, as you can see here. You can select landscape or portrait orientation. So this is an example here of a playlist that I created that is a templated playlist. And here you can see that we have video in the middle of the playlist. We have San Francisco time here and weather. And we have a graphic image here. And you see the widget here has switched to the time in Yerevan. We have our brilliant offshore development team in Armenia, so that's a nod to them. And so this is, just an example of a templated playlist. And you can very easily add content to the playlist. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to just select a category of content from our library. So let's just select, for example, entertainment. And then what happens is all of the entertainment content will get filtered out. And you can see here now that I can preview a video in that category and simply drag and drop it into my playlist. Drag and drop it into my playlist there. So that shows you how easy it is to manage your playlists. The other thing I want to show you is another thing that I mentioned is the streaming capability. So you can share the URL for the playlist. I can copy it into a browser window. And here you see the video streaming. And you can very quickly go through your different clips. If I were to go in and, so the video starts here with this clip. If I were to go in and change the video clip or change the order, move this summer safety clip up first, publish that, and you can see that as I come back here and refresh, we're starting with summer safety. So that shows you how easy it is to change things and how quickly the changes propagate. So we'll come back to here. I'm going to go to channels now and show you very quickly that in a channel you can have two different playlists, as you can see here, and you can change the properties of the playlist, schedule, etc. And that gives you an idea of how you can manage playlists in a channel. And again, you can preview those very easily here. I want to just go back to playlists for a minute and show you how you can also dynamically target playlists. And we have this very powerful rules-based engine that allows you to take feeds and apply operators to them. So essentially create logic to display certain content based on certain events. And then finally, I want to go and show you Campaign Manager. This is very important for video ad networks. This is where salespeople go in and manage the ads, book ads on a network that supports advertising. So here you can see there's a particular campaign that's being run. And within that campaign, you have any number of different items or different creative executions, if you will. So here I can come in and, for example, I can schedule when that video will play, where it will play, what the dates it will play, the frequency and the loop, etc. So very robust way to manage your ad inventory As you can see here, you can see the inventory on your network, and you know when you're getting close to being sold out or when you're nowhere near. You can also see the list of campaigns by category, etc. And then finally, rundowns. This is where you can actually generate very robust reports to tell all the constituents where content played and when. So I'm going to just finish by talking about our content library. As I mentioned before, we have content from over 150 providers. And you can see here the slide that shows you the content that we provide from our library. And you can see that we have all the major broadcasters as well as other categories such as movie studios and sports, health and wellness, etc. This library is available with or without our CMS. So if you want to use the library with a different CMS, we have clients that just license our content. So that's a possibility as well. And then here we have our case study at Sam's Club. So Sam's Club has been, we've been supporting networks at Sam's Club now for almost 7 years. And you can see here that we have end-to-end delivery. Sam's Club is basically using our full toolkit to deliver content to 2 channels running in the club, one in electronics and one in tire and battery. So they use our third-party content combined with advertising. They use all of our programming and campaign management tools. They deliver content across the network of close to 600 clubs. And then they get the play logs back for reporting. And then I just want to end by saying that we have been in partnership, like I said, with BrightSign for since our inception, 10 years, and very pleased with these numbers. They speak to how successful that partnership has been, and we continue to evolve our platform as BrightSign continues to innovate. And just to share our pricing, as you can see here, we have small viewing area pricing starting at $22.50 per month per media player, and obviously that will you get volume discounts as that scales up. And then with a large viewing area like a TV wall, it starts at $45 per month per media player, and then you can see the various support tiers here. And I'd like to wrap the presentation by introducing Jeanette Wood, our head of sales. And Jeanette is your point person for follow-up after this webinar. Thank you all very much for your time. I appreciate you staying and listening to this webinar, and I hope that it's been interesting. Thank you all, and wish you all the best for the rest of the day.